Hey guys, so back at it with the third episode where I've reached Platinum Tier 1 rank with Cyber Dragons. At the moment, this is the highest rank in Master Duel, although I hear that they will be creating higher ranks in the near future. Now, this took a bit longer than I would have hoped because I kept experiencing disconnection issues. I basically had 8 disconnect losses after reaching Platinum, so I had a bit of a hole to keep climbing out of, which was very frustrating, but I'm glad I still got here. So as usual, let's just go over my final deck list for the current season and then just some really fun replays. So let's just hop on to our deck list here for Cyber Dragons. So basically now, as you see here, this is the final list. Now, although when you see some of the replays, some of the earlier replays, I actually had 3 Dark Rule and No Mores instead here. And that was because when I first reached Platinum status, I was just like going up against a lot of combo decks, you know, like Adamantipator, Drytron, and I just felt like I needed something like Dark Ruler where I just blanket, just negate all their effects. But eventually I also came to realize surprising number of players were making me go first because a lot of people are still playing going second decks, I suppose, and I just needed something a bit more versatile. And you know, Droplet, it's a pretty good card and it's still really powerful going first or second. And so yeah, I think this is what I ultimately ended up with, and this is also something that I main personally in my actual real life deck for this Cyber Dragons, I guess. And so the rest I think is pretty much the same as last time, and yeah, just the 3 Maxxis, 2 Imperm, and the 2 Ash Blossoms, and then with the just the Cyber Dragon Core basically being the same since I think the first episode. And the extra deck, I believe the only thing that changed is I have Relinquished Anima. Now, don't get me wrong, this primarily gets banished with Pot of Prosperity, but there's definitely instances where this has come up, and I do really like it here. I think the only thing I've never summoned is basically Nightmare Phoenix. And so yeah, that's it for the deck list. You know, in terms of like an in-depth card by card kind of profile, I can do that sometime in the future, especially with like the new ban list comes out, which at the time of recording it actually did not come out yet for me. And so yeah, let's just move on to the replays. Alright guys, so this is against Eldlich, and so I'm seeing this a lot in ranked play. My god, look at this hand. I mean, like, I love how the 3 pots are just in order too, just to add insult to injury. And so anyways, like I was saying, I see Eldlich a lot now in ranked play, I think because people have come to figure out that with this OCG list, a lot of floodgates are legal, and this deck becomes really good, especially in a best of 1 format where people can't side like more back row hate cards, right? So this deck, you're going to see a lot, but he's just going to set 2 and pass. So now for turn, we draw a second emergency. So this is one of the more awkward hands I've ever seen. Really not a good one. And unfortunately, it gets met with an Ash, so I can't even get the core. And because the effect is negated, I cannot activate Cyber Emergency again. Whereas if the activation was negated, I could. So if you don't know what that means, you should probably brush up on your rulings. We will go with the pot as plan B. We're just going to banish 3 at a time because we have 3 pots to go through. Unfortunately, our excavation was really bad with, we're just going to add the overflow. And he does have the Sanguine, and he will just summon out that Golden Boy. So he's going to start off his turn. Looks like we both kind of have slow starts in a way. Well, I mean, I guess that's expected of Eldlich. He's going to use the Sanguine effect to set the counter trap, which is very problematic with pure builds. I mean, back with like Zodiac Eldlich, they didn't typically play that counter trap, but in the pure list, you do have to watch out for it, and it's very, very problematic. So now we get to draw Cyber Dragon, not great. We're going to try again with the Cyber Emergency, try to get that core. Unfortunately, it is met with another Ash, so I just really cannot get going. But because he ashed this, I had a good feeling he was going to negate the activation of my Prosperity because he knows I don't really have many plays. So we're going to banish 3 again, and in fact he does negate the activation, and because of that, that means I can actually activate another pot this turn. And just remember, for the newer players, if the pot was ashed, then you would not be able to activate it again this turn. Anyways, we are going to excavate again. We've already banished 9 cards from our extra deck at this point. And this time it's a little bit better. We do get to add the repair plan, and I'm just going to fast forward here. We do normal the Herz. He summons out the Conch, doesn't do anything. We're going to go into the Almirage, and we'll just trigger that Herz effect and add a Cyber Dragon. Next, we do have that repair plan to add the Galaxy Soldier. And so we are just going to use that effect to summon itself. Soldier just searches itself, and we'll do that one more time and bring out the Soldier. So we have 2 level 5s. We can now overlay and go into Nova, and you know the drill. Use that effect, detach for cost, target, special summon the Cyber Dragon from grave, now overlay into infinity, and then of course use the remaining materials to go into Anaconda so that we can bring out Rampage. And then so we're going to use that effect, pay cost, and we will banish the Cyber Dragon and the Herz and bring out Chimera Attack Rampage. And I'll unfast forward here. And with Rampage effect, it can pop 2 spells and traps. Now the Conk and the Carol, they are still considered as traps even if they are in the monster field. So they will be destroyed. He is still chaining to it though. And they will just get popped. And now next Rampage, make sure, don't forget this effect if you want to attack 2 more times. Unfortunately, he is under pot, so he's only going to take half damage, so it's just a bunch of mini attacks, so he's not going to die this turn, but we are at least able to get it going compared to how we started. Main 2, we will just suck up that Anaconda with Infinity, and just pass turn there. So, you know, we do have the Overflow, it's actually pretty good. So next, he's going to start with the Extravagance. I actually have to let this go, technically, because he has, for example, if you look here, he has the Golden Lore engraved, right? So he can use that effect to bring itself back at 3500 attack, which then just gets over my Infinity. So I decided to let the Extravagance go so that I can negate the more surefire thing. He's going to set 1, but he actually has another Eldlich in hand. So now he's going to try to send my Infinity, which then I negate that, and I'm going to pause here, sorry, because it's moving so fast. I will then chain the Overflow so I can pop that remaining set. Because just know, for those of you who are new against this deck, Eldlich, to be able to special summon, it's going to send this card for cost. So you have to pop it before he's going to attempt to activate that effect. So I'm not giving him any chance to be able to use that effect, essentially. So we are going to resolve that chain link 3. Overflow will banish the Cyber Dragon and pop that set, which was an Imperial Order. We will negate that first Eldlich effect to send, and now he's not going to be able to... and so, yeah, he's not going to be able to bring back. But in any case, he does get to set the 1 Scarlet Sanguine. And the Conch will, I forget what this one's called. But basically, yeah, it looks like Destiny. Also special summons, essentially. So now for turn, we draw the Nachster. Not bad, not bad. So we will use Rampage effect again. He's going to use the white one. And so, you know, obviously I only have 1 negate. We can let him have 1 Golden Lord. We just can't let him have 2. So we will... let him summon that one out, and then Rampage effect will resolve. We'll send the Herz, and I guess I sent the core, so I will get the other core back. Next, we will summon the Nachster, and we're gonna bring out the Nova. And the reason for this, so well, first he's gonna try to use Sanguine. Like I said, we can let him have 1 Golden Lord. We can't let him have 2. We'll negate that. And the reason for this, so I'll just let it resolve first. So we will negate that Sanguine, and then Nachster will resolve, and we'll bring out the Nova. So now, remember guys, I had to banish 9 cards from the extra because I was trying to resolve the pots. And so unfortunately, Seeger's banished, which means it makes it hard to get over Golden Lord. And Seeger's actually very good in this matchup. So instead, we're going to use that Nova's second effect that seldom gets used. So we are going to attack with Nova, use that effect, banish the Nachster, pump it to 42 so I can get over it. And then now I have a clear field and I can actually attack and for game. So that was a wild one with that crazy ridiculous opening hand, but we did manage to take this one. So let's move on to the next replay. Okay, so the second replay is against Dogmatika, Invoked, Shadoll, and I lose this one because of a key misplay, but you know, it's something to point out and we can both learn from it. So our hand's not that great, honestly. I mean, we just have to hope that this Maxx resolves. I actually don't imperm Alistair here, and the reason is because I have Cyber Dragon, which I can get rid of the Mechaba easily because Mechaba is a machine, right? So I'm actually saving the Imperm in case he has Ecclesia, which I feel like they always have. So he's going to go into the Secure Guard now. So pretty standard line of play, and he's going to use that Invocation. We will trigger the Maxx here now so that I can get that guaranteed at least 1 draw. I don't want him to like Alistair pass because my hand's pretty bad. Unfortunately, he has the Ash, so I don't really get to do anything with that, and that was just, yeah, oh well. So he's going to be able to resolve that Invocation and bring out the Mechaba. I find it funny how his like little legs move. And also don't summon under the extra monster zones. That just makes you more vulnerable to Anima. And like there's just no reason to, right? He's going to trigger that Invocation effect just to add the Alistair back. And of course, he has that Ecclesia. I swear they always have it. We will imp him here. I kind of had a feeling they probably wouldn't have traps in their hand. I mean, really, the only thing would be if they hard drew Schism or maybe they play Imperm, but realistically, like, you have a pretty good chance being able to resolve Imperm. And he actually just passes with this. This is actually pretty good. Okay, so we have a chance. And we draw the pot, so that's good. We're actually going to start with the Cyber Dragon, though. And we're going to attack over the Ecclesia because monsters from the extra deck can't destroy Ecclesia for by battle, at least. And so we're going to Contact Fuse into Fortress first so that we can make sure that this pot will resolve, at least hoping that he doesn't have other hand traps. And so in terms of our excavation, not bad. And again, the Dark Ruler, remember that will be Forbidden Droplet, but at the time I was trying out Dark Ruler at this point. We're going to get the core and we will use that effect, and we're going to add the repair plant. I'll just fast forward here. And of course, as usual, we're going to add that soldier with the repair plant and trigger that effect to bring itself out. And soldier will search another soldier. And then we're going to use that Revsystem. So it's kind of an awkward line of play, and we're just going to now go into Nova that way. And then we'll just overlay for Infinity. Next, we will link into Almirage, and we're actually just going to pass turn that way. So I'll slow down here. I'll pause here. He is going to normal the Squamata attack. I'm going to trigger Almirage effect to try to protect Infinity from the card destruction effects, just because I don't want to lose life. But unfortunately, that Super Poly really just gets rid of my Infinity anyways. And so he goes into Construct. He's going to be able to trigger both that and Squamata. They both send from deck and act as Foolish Burials. Gonna send that Wendy, and then Shaddoll Construct will send the Dragon, and Wendy of course will special the Beast. And then Construct is gonna attack. Its effect is mandatory. In real life you should remember that, so I don't take damage there, that's why. So Nachster's effect, I accidentally fast forward, sorry. We're gonna bring the Infinity, and Nachster came out of Core's effect from grave. Infinity, we will suck up that Construct. In here I don't negate Beast effect, and the reason for that is because I know he has Alistair in hand, I believe, and so because that can get into Mechaba, which will just get over Infinity for sure, I thought maybe I just let him draw 2 and hope he doesn't draw too well. Unfortunately, you'll find out he did actually draw quite well, and so we will pass turn there. And for turn, he plays the Meltdown. I actually decided to negate this just to as a precaution for moving forward in this game, because with Meltdown up, then I can't negate Shaddoll Fusion or Schism, things like that. So I thought I'd just get rid of it right now. And so, of course, he does have the Nadir's Servant. And he's going to be able to add that Ecclesia from grave as well. It's not just from deck. And he sent that App Cologne, which will now trigger. And he's going to be able to add the Schism. And he'll have to discard. And he's going to send the Squamata, which will then trigger. And he's going to Foolish the Falco. And the Falco triggers now and specials itself face down in defense mode. And then he's going to summon that Ecclesia. And going to add that Maximus. And then he's going to special out the Maximus by banishing the Almirage. He's going to just go into attack first, get rid of the Nachster, and then main 2, he will trigger that Maximus, really gets them going. One of them is an Entis, unfortunately, I'm out of negates or materials. So Infinity's dead, and Ash Dragon will now special out the Fleur in defense mode. So not looking too great, but we might have some plays. Again, I draw that Dark Ruler. Remember, that's going to be a Droplet in the future. And this is something I was baiting that Schism out because, Soldier, I already used one of the soldiers, right? So really, just bring this out. It's not going to do anything, but I knew that he would try to activate the Schism here and bring out Winda so that I would be locked out of special summoning. But then now I can use that Dark Ruler. So I wanted him to bring out that Winda. So now he's going to banish the materials from the grave and bring out the Winda. Soldier will summon. Doesn't really do much on his own, but we get to trigger Herz, and we're going to get that Nachster again. So now we can use Dark Ruler so that we can still special summon. We're going to normal the Nachster, use that effect. Normally I like going into this Nova and then go into second Infinity, but I did banish that second Infinity with the pot. So that's why I have to go directly, bring out the Infinity. We'll suck up the Ecclesia because we can't destroy it by battle with monsters from the extra deck. And then we're going to go into Seeger. So this is where my key misplay comes. So I'll obviously pump the Seeger, and I attack Fleur. And the reason for that, the split Lapse of Judgment was that, Fleur can pump itself, it's going to attack over Infinity. But I do have the Seeger to pump myself up. So I should have actually attacked over Maximus, because that's going to get them going again. So I'll attack over the Winda, and so you'll see how that costs me. So for turn, our opponent is going to start off with the Schism, which I will just have to negate and destroy. And now I'm out of materials and just no negates. So that's destroyed. Now he gets to trigger the Maximus. So he has Entis again, which will obviously destroy my Infinity. And he even has the App Clone. Really gets them going. So App Clone's going to trigger. He's going to add the Beast. And he'll just send the Beast right back so that he can draw later. And then Entis will pop my Infinity. And again, that Beast is going to trigger now. He's going to be able to draw. And then now he's going to flip the Falco and special out the Construct face down defense mode. he's just gonna set one, and I guess that's it for now. But our hand still, I mean, we don't have a hand. Our field sucks too. So for turn, we draw Cyber Dragon. Really unfortunate there. So we'll just attack over the Falco and do a bit of damage. Really not too much here. Perhaps I should have attacked over Max's again, but at this point I felt like, okay, he probably got rid of everything that he could. That's actually good. I mean, he has like 5 cards left. Construct will of course get rid of my Seeger, but we're still in here. So for turn we draw Maxi. Okay, well never mind. I take that back. We're definitely not in here. We're about to die. So for turn, let's see. He's gonna put Maximus in attack. I mean, surprisingly, I've survived this much. I was kind of dumbfounded, but obviously he's not really gonna special much anymore, and Maxi's not gonna really work out for me. So I think pretty much at this point, I mean that's just like so bad. Like I just special in defense mode, and I'll just fast forward here. Really not too much. I mean, and he has terraforming, and so he's gonna be able to do sort of his invoke play now with the meltdown. Adds the Alistair, and you know the drill. Gets the invocation. I wonder if they'll ever hit this package, especially in the TCG. I mean, whatever. I guess I'll let that Maxi go. I want to end on high note. See if I can draw. He's gonna banish my Infinity as well, so that's smart on his end. You could, if I had a core, you could obviously that'd be the key one to banish. And so I do get destroyed here. And well, you know what? I got to learn from my misplay, and wow, I let him finish so he can have a good replay, but that's kind of disrespectful, pumping it up when he didn't have to, but it is what it is. So on to the next one. Alright, so this third replay is actually against Eldlich again, but it was just an interesting match, so or game rather, so I thought I'd show again. So we have Maxi, which is becoming very useless, obviously, with so many Eldlich decks running around. We are going to Ash that Extravagance though. And let's see, yep, it does resolve. And we at least have Lightning Storm. I mean, honestly, I've been pretty blessed. I feel like I'm drawing Lightning Storm a lot whenever I play against Eldlich, so I can't complain. So we draw Machine Duel, which really sucks. Our hand is so bricky. So we're just gonna, I don't think we'll die. So we'll just, and we are gonna use Maxi here because really they only like special once a turn, so I might as well do it here just to kind of in a way shuffle my hand. And so we'll, see the Golden Boy pop down. And we're gonna draw Imperm. That is also another bad card against this matchup, other than perhaps shutting down Floodgates, but it's just not great. So he's gonna have the Conch set with the Sanguine, and he's gonna attack with the Golden Boy for 25. So still in it. Now for turn, we draw Emergency. There we go. We can finally kind of get going. So we're going to start with the Lightning Storm, try to pull that back row. But unfortunately, he has the Counter Trap. Very, very strong. So now I have to try to play through these back row. Like, I can't just keep taking attacks. So unfortunately, that is negated. But we will go with the Emergency and get the core. So we're going to normal the core. And I was surprised that this effect actually resolved. We're going to get the Overflow because I did not think I would be able to actually kill him this turn. Surprisingly, this is all going through though. So we are gonna go into Nova. Dino miss, because that's really problematic. It's hard being banished right there. Fortunately, we have at least a little bit of extender. So we're gonna get the soldier, and so now we at least have 2 bodies on board, which means Anaconda time. And so we'll bring that out to try to bring out the Rampage. Normally if we had something like Dragoon, that'd be so nice, but unfortunately he has Rivalry, which is pretty ironic because obviously I'm an all machine deck, except for this one line of play where I have a plant monster to bring out a machine. So unfortunately I can't do much there, and I just attack for a whopping 500. I'm gonna set the Imperm and the Overflow and just have to pass turn. So we're both, we don't have a lot of resources left. So he top decks Prosperity. That's pretty nice. So let's see what he excavates. Akero. See, this is when I just got completely shocked. I did not realize Vanity's Emptiness was legal. I don't know if it still is. I know this is an outdated OCG list. Someone tell me if it's still legal there. That's just crazy. I don't know why this card's legal. So he picks the Emptiness. We fortunately have the Overflow though. And here he's gonna bring out the Golden Land Lord. And then he's going to go into battle. And it's so funny. I bet he forgot he's dealing half damage this turn, because he uses the Kong to try to attack for 35, but he's actually dealing 1750. So I'm not dead yet. And we know that's Vanity's Emptiness. So we at least know everything that's on board. Next, he is going to shotgun the Emptiness. Not too much of an issue. So we're going to start with the Prosperity first. Let's just see what we excavate. And so Maxx, Revsystem, Imperm, Nachster, Emergency, and Repair Plan. So pretty good options right here. So we're actually going to go direct with the Nachster. That's something what we want. And we, of course, can get rid of that Emptiness pretty easily. We're going to just banish that Cyber Dragon. And then we are going to use Core's effect and bring out the Herz. We're going to use its second effect, which I almost never use, is to make it level 5. But just remember, if you use that second effect, you are now locked into machines. So don't forget. You can't go into Palladius here if you play it, because you're locked into machines. Just be aware of that. So we are going to go into Nova this way. And then we're just going to go straight into Infinity. And we'll just suck up that Golden Lord. And I actually decided not to attack just so he can't get the, I guess, Banisher for Sanguine. I'm not sure if that was the right line of thinking. But, I mean, he didn't really have any resources. So he's going to just set one. And he's going to pass. And for turn, Maxx, really bad. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I should probably start attacking because I'm at low life. You know, I got to start making some ground. And so, of course, now he's going to be able to trigger the Conch and get that Sanguine set. So now we just passed on the turn. And he has Dino-Miscus again. I'm forced to negate this. That's a really strong card. And the discard is not cost, so he doesn't actually have to discard. And so he's going to use the Scarlet, which, again, this is the only time I can really max C. They only like special once a turn. So hopefully we can at least swap that with a new card. And we are basically resolving the chain backwards. He's still going to be able to bring that Golden Lord. Thankfully, he actually puts it in defense mode. So at least my Infinity will probably be alive. We do draw the pot. That's kind of nice. We also get to trigger the Herz that we just detached for cost. Get that Nachster for that follow-up play. So that's, you know, pretty good. Make sure to detach your Herz first. And then, wait, because that will we draw the Herz. We're going to go with the pot. Banish 3. See what we get. Lightning Storm, pot, Imperm. Very, very bad. So we'll get the Lightning Storm rather, just in case that comes up. We have a face-up card, so we can't use it right now. And we're going to pitch the Herz and special the Cyber Dragon. But we're also triggering the Herz as Chain Link 2. And so we will resolve that backwards. Herz. We're going to add the other Herz. You can only do this if you actually have more than one Herz in the graveyard. You can't just like add the same Herz that you discarded, obviously. We're going to bring that Cyber Dragon with the Nachster. And then we go into Seeger. Like I said earlier, this is kind of big for us against Eldlich when there's no Dragoon legal or DP even. So now we need Seeger to be able to like actually get over Golden Lord. He has a Sanguine, which of course I am going to negate. I can't let him get that on. So that does resolve, and we are able to attack for 2500. Or I guess 1250 because we did use pot. And so we are passing turn there. Now for turn, he just sets one. He's going to use Sanguine effect to set the Conch. And I let that go because now, you know, obviously I have to try to stop that Eldlich effect from grave. That's my priority. Otherwise, it just I can't let him get it on field. And so we are going to negate that. And he's just going to pass turn there. So we are out grinding them. So now for turn, we draw Imperm again. Really bad. We're going to summon the Herz. He's going to use the Scarlet effect. At this point, I think the reason I negate here was I didn't want him getting access to the counter trap. And, you know, because it's my turn, he's obviously not going to be able to bring the Golden Lord. So that's, I believe that's why I negated there. We're going to use Seeger's effect just to pump it up. Guess. And then as I attack with Herz, he's going to trigger Conch and then Chain Link 2 Paleozoic Dino-Miscus, which basically brings itself as a monster. But fortunately, it has 0 defense. So even something as weak as Herz can get over it. And then, of course, Seeger is just going to go over that. So that's why I pumped Infinity, by the way, because I know Seeger's not dealing damage. And then we're going to suck up that Herz with the Infinity so that as we detach, we can again trigger that effect. So for turn, okay, so we are hit with the Lava Golem, but Herz is still going to trigger, and we're going to get that Nachster. That's going to be really annoying for the opponent. So now he's, of course, going to get the, well, I guess the White Elixir this time, and change his turn. So, okay, we have Emergency, which is pretty good. We're going to take that 1000 for Lava Golem, so that means we only have 1 turn left. Nachster, though, we are going to bring back the Nova. And this is because, you saw it earlier, we're going to use that Nova second effect again. We're going to attack with Lava Golem. which is fortunately strong enough to get over Eldlich's big ass. So we are going to attack over that. And then now, I didn't even take any chances. Even though it's over 2050, I'm like, I can't remember if I used pot or not. I'm just going to use that effect to double it or gain attack. Which is funny because I was just talking earlier about how it was disrespectful to increase attack with like Alistair, but I guess I did the same thing, so I shouldn't be complaining. So on to the last one. Okay guys, I know this video is getting really long, but I still wanted to include that one final replay. This is the game where I was where I reached platinum tier 1 status, and it was pretty fun. And honestly, I don't even know what deck he was really playing. I mean, he just said to, so obviously it's some kind of control deck. I assumed Eldlich, but you'll see what happens here. So we're gonna start off with the emergency, try to get the Herz. It is met with an Ash though, so that's not looking too good. So it's going to negate the effect there. And so we'll just keep progressing as best as we can. And we'll just add the repair plant. That's sort of like, still we can get to the same way. We're sequencing this a little differently because I want to bait out the back row. I was worried it'd be something like summon limit or something. So nothing there yet. Again, a little weird line of play. So we're going to go with the All Mirage here. Still nothing. So we will now get the Herz with the repair plant. And maybe I should fast forward at this point. And we're going to trigger the Herz, get that core for follow-up, because I just didn't think I was going to get through these two back rows. But you know what? Whatever. We'll go as far as we can. I was feeling a little antsy because I could make tier 1 if I win this one. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go for it. So we're going to go with the Infinity and you know the next step, which is to go into Anaconda. So now we are going to use that effect to send the Overload Fusion, and we're going to banish the Herz and Cyber Dragon, and we're going to try to pop the back row. And so now at this point, he uses Compulse, which I obviously have to negate. And then you see here, as this chain resolves, so that's obviously negated and destroyed, and then Rampage's effect is going to resolve, pop that other back row, which was solemn. At this point, I was so worried because I'm like, there's definitely a Nibiru coming as I try to enter the battle phase. So, yeah, and look at that animation. That's pretty cool. I think that was the first time I saw that. So, we are nibbed there, and unfortunately, because it was Infinity that got nibbed, we don't get to trigger like Nova's effect, for example. So, we're just going to set that in permanent pass. So, I really thought I had it there, but unfortunately, it can't be that easy. I still trigger the Imperm just in case he's stupid enough to play something in the middle spell trap zone. I mean, negating Nibiru does nothing, but you know what? Might as well. But he, of course, is not stupid. He will use Desires to draw 2. Sets 1 in half. Okay, so, well, you know, my token is really fat, so I can at least beat down with that. And so we're going to summon the Core and try to get the Search in, and he has Torrential, so, oh no, okay, well. So that's, well, you know, they're all destroyed. Anyways. So we're going to use Core's effect to get the Cyberload Fusion, and so now, because we did have 2 that we banished from Overload Fusion, and so this is actually looking pretty good. So now, because you use Cyberload Fusion, remember, you can only attack with Rampage this turn, and that means we have to bring out Seeger so that we can pump that attack because no one else is going to be able to attack. So we're going to send Herz and Nachster, that way we can special that, we get rid of Maxx, it was useless. We're going to bring the Nova, doesn't matter. And then we're just going to go into Seeger like I said, so that we can pump the Rampage and get that tier 1 status. So we're going to pump that Rampage with Seeger, and he's going to attack for game. And man, that felt really good. So I was really happy. It was a good way to reach that status. And so yeah, that's it for the replay. So let's get back to the deck list. Alright guys, so back to the deck list, which I consider as pretty much final for this season with this OCG list that they're using. Now for the Cyber Dragon content moving forward, definitely expect to see both Dueling Book and Master Duel replays. As of this moment, Dueling Book will definitely be my primary simulator of choice because it's based on our actual TCG format with the best of 3 match. If Master Duel brings and can implement this, then I can consider using this platform moving forward. But for now, expect the next Cyber Dragon replay video to be on Dueling Book. Either way, I'm hoping that you'll watch the Cyber Dragon content regardless of what simulator I'm using. But anyways, that's it from me. Take care guys.